Lucifer attempts to be reborn on Earth by cloning the DNA of Jesus. Welcome back to Movies Explained. Today's film is a supernatural thriller from 2022 titled The Devil Conspiracy. The movie opens at the beginning of the days when Lucifer rebelled against God and was punished by being expelled from heaven. He fell into hell, and Archangel Michael chained him to a rock with his own sword as the seal. Lucifer promised to return, and over time he assembled demons for his revenge plan. Meanwhile, his worshippers constructed an abbey around the hole where he fell, eagerly awaiting his return. Fast forward to 2022 in Turin, Italy, where Laura, an art historian, collaborates with Father Marconi. He grants her access to his cathedral, featuring the rarely seen shroud of Turin, believed to hold Jesus' crucifixion blood. As Laura studies a statue of Michael defeating Lucifer, strange occurrences unfold. Immersed in her work, she hears her name called, though no one is in sight. The exhibition is closing soon. A raven transforms into a hooded figure and joins the last group of visitors. She slips away from the tour while the guard is distracted and sneaks towards the statue. The hooded woman named Liz sees Laura's drawing. While Laura is distracted, Liz steals Michael's sword from the statue and leaves. Laura is surprised again by the guard who is informing her that the cathedral is closing. She tries to leave from the front door, but it's locked. Upon searching for another way out, she is startled to witness Liz decapitating the guard with a sword. Terrified, Laura seeks refuge in a confessional booth, where she watches in horror as Liz, using the guard's head, deactivates the alarms for the shroud. Liz then breaks the glass protecting the shroud with the sword and steals the relic. Marconi hears the noise and tries to intervene, but Liz stabs him instead. Liz's henchmen arrive to help her escape. While leaving, she notices Laura in the booth and instructs her men to capture her, believing that Lucifer chose her. After they leave, Marconi prays with his last breath, asking Michael to possess his body and stop Lucifer. Michael quickly possesses the priest's body and chases after Liz, who is driving away. Michael has angel powers that can enhance his physical powers. However, Marconi's human body can't handle this power, so he has to stop running to prevent damaging his body. In another historical cathedral, a group of wealthy individuals gather to see a talented child playing the violin exceptionally well. A doctor named Laurent reveals that the child is a clone of Antonio Vivaldi, one of many famous clones created by his company using DNA extracted from their graves. These prodigious babies are auctioned to wealthy parents, and today's offering is a clone of Michelangelo. Liz arrives at the auction to inform Laurent that they have the shroud, and the group returns to Lucifer's abbey. Meanwhile, Laura wakes up in a glass cell with 3 other women. She comforts one who is crying, emphasizing the need to stay calm and work together. Soon, a group of nurses enters the cell to check Laura's blood. At the same time, Michael returns to the cathedral and joins other priests in watching security tapes. The men are surprised that Marconi is alive, but Michael only cares about the whereabouts of the protectors of the shroud. The priests say that Cardinal Vincini, who was responsible for protection, became unstable due to dementia and talked about secret cults and demonic beasts. Vincini is a hermit in an asylum now, so Michael takes the security footage and uses Laura's past to ask who she is. Michael takes Marconi's car to find Vincini. He uses medicine from the glove box to ease the pain from his powers, not realizing a raven is tracking him. Michael arrives at the asylum and is confronted by an armed Vincini. He realizes that Michael is no ordinary priest and immediately is surprised to learn that it's the Archangel Michael, the Hound of Heaven. Vincini knows about Liz and shows Michael the abbey they built around the hole to hell, explaining that this asylum was built as a lookout. According to the scriptures, Lucifer will return with the help of a woman and a beast whom Lucifer sent from hell. For many years, Lucifer's followers supplied children for possession, believing innocence would facilitate his rebirth. However, those human bodies weren't strong enough to contain him. They stole the shroud to clone Jesus because only his body is strong enough for an immortal like Lucifer to possess. Michael is appalled and vows to intervene, so Vincini guides him to the tunnel that leads to the base of the abbey. They say their goodbyes, and Vincini notices the raven that has been following Michael and shoots it. He gives his gun to Michael, who enters the cave with a torch. Michael's presence near the gate to hell activates his sword, enabling Lucifer to shatter his shackles and break free. In the Abbey, the Satanist scientists are trying to extract Jesus' DNA from the shroud so they can begin the cloning process. Laurent runs some tests and discovers Laura is 100% compatible with the embryo, so Liz orders him to hurry the process. Meanwhile, the imprisoned women discuss their personal lives while attempting to create makeshift weapons. Laura reveals the tragic loss of her husband and child to murder. The nurses return to the cell to take the girls, but the women use their chains to try to defend themselves. More nurses arrive and overpower them, taking Laura and a woman named Brenda to the surgery room. Doctors implant the embryo created from Jesus' DNA in their uterus. Liz appears and says that Laura is the chosen one because Liz saw her sketches of Lucifer in the cathedral and found them beautiful. The women are dressed as brides and taken to the courtyard gathered by the Satanists. They are then chained to a pillar before the beast of the ground captures the girls and traps them in a large cage. The cage is then lowered into a well that leads to the entrance to hell. Demons surround the cage and restrain the women while Lucifer transforms into a mist to enter Brenda through her mouth. Brenda's body rejects Lucifer, causing her to die. Lucifer leaves her corpse and enters Laura's, and surprisingly, she survives the possession. Laura walks back to the courtyard in a daze. Liz grabs her hand and declares her the chosen one. She leads Laura to a new glass cell with a hospital bed and medical equipment. Michael finds a door in the cave tunnel and shoots it open to enter the Abbey. The guards quickly spot him and shoot Michael while his gun is unloaded. He survives because he's an angel and knocks out the guards. He takes their uniforms and roams the Abbey in disguise. Michael enters the lab with the guard's access card and takes the shroud in his bag. When he checks the security cameras, he notices Laura in her cell. Laurent enters the lab and Michael confronts him, pushing him against the table. Michael opens gas valves, ignites a flare, and uses the ensuing explosion to slow the approaching guards. The building's fire alarm goes off, causing Laura to panic, but the nurse won't let her evacuate. Michael arrives and knocks out the nurse. Laura hugs him, believing Marconi is alive. However, Michael notices Lucifer's presence as the devil teases his brother telepathically. Laura is scared and tries to run away, but Michael catches her and hides her in a storage closet to avoid being caught by the guards. Laura steals Michael's gun and asks who Michael is. Michael reassures her he is not a Satanist, reveals Marconi's death, and explains he's borrowing the priest's body. Laura explains what happened to her, prompting Michael to take her away for her safety. While running, a guard shoots at them, but Liz kills the guard instead for potentially harming Laura. She wants Laura to be captured unharmed. Michael and Laura attempt to flee through a cave tunnel, but Laura's pregnancy causes her pain. This delay allows the beast to catch up to them and begins fighting Michael, who at first successfully evades the beast with gunshots. However, his human body is no match against a hellish beast that ultimately defeats him. Liz and her henchmen recapture Laura, and she threatens to harm the baby if they harm the priest. Liz reminds her that Marconi is already dead, and she will make sure that the angel in his body dies too. Laura is returned to her cell and restrained to the bed, while Michael is chained in the room with the portal to hell. He uses his angelic powers to break the chains and free himself, but this makes him very weak. After dragging his body to the well, he opens it to jump down right before the beast can catch him. Upon arrival in hell, Michael finds that his sword is missing from the stone pillar. A powerful demon named Mammon arrives with other demons, and since Michael is in a weak body without access to his powerful sword, Mammon uses Lucifer's sword to chain Michael to the pillar, just like how he imprisoned Lucifer ages ago. Shortly after, a group of children approaches Michael. They are called the Stole, failed sacrifices for Lucifer who are collaborating to survive in hell. Michael offers to bring the kids home if they find his sword, but they are hesitant to trust him. Demons show up, causing a commotion and capturing some of the kids. Some time passes, and Laura's pregnancy is progressing. During an ultrasound, Laura experiences a disturbing dream where her baby crawls out of the screen and roars at her. She wakes up, realizing it was just a nightmare. Liz, who is sitting beside the bed, starts telling the story of Lucifer's fight against God, but Laura says she doesn't care. Liz slaps her, demanding respect from Laura, until the baby is born, and Laura is released. When Laura is alone, Lucifer's essence briefly exits Laura's womb and enters her mind through her ear. He appeals to her, saying that he despises the person who murdered her family, and offers to help her kill Liz, whom Laura despises. Laura accepts the deal and lies down on the bed, allowing Lucifer to possess the baby. She dreams of holding and bonding with the child. Seeing this, Liz becomes concerned about Laura's growing strength. Empowered by her newfound abilities, Laura kills a nurse and disrupts the lights during a test. Leaving the room, she encounters another nurse, whom she violently beats and kicks until he dies. Regaining control and consciousness, Laura is horrified by her actions. She believes that killing the baby will stop Lucifer from succeeding, so she goes into a storage room and picks up a bottle of chlorine. Lucifer pleads with her, referring to her as Mother, to refrain from poisoning herself. However, she resists, fighting against Lucifer's control and ultimately drinking the entire bottle. Laura, now possessed by Lucifer, vomits and writhes in pain. Liz bursts into the room, furious about Laura harming the baby. Controlled by Lucifer, Laura stops Liz from leaving by using her powers to close the door. She then throws up a mix of chlorine and blood on Liz's face. Lucifer warns Liz not to make another mistake, commanding her to eliminate all witnesses to keep his rebirth a secret. Concerned about the baby bonding with Laura, Lucifer orders her death after the birth. Laurent arrives and Lucifer strikes him, instructing him to heal Laura's body. She is quickly placed in a healing pod. Then, Lucifer's essence leaves to possess a demon in hell. He visits Michael to mock his failure, witnessed by the stolen children who now believe that Michael is a good guy. While Michael ponders God's reasoning to allow Lucifer's escape, the children come to save him. Unable to remove Lucifer's sword from the chains due to their lack of strength, Michael tells them to find his sword instead. They discover it in rubble, but demons appear and offer to let the children live if they give Michael's sword to the demons. The children briefly hesitate but ultimately give the sword to Michael. He regains his ethereal form and kills the demons. Michael promises the children that he'll return to free them before he returns to Earth in Marconi's body. He retrieves the hidden shroud and goes back to the Abbey. He knocks out a guard, steals a weapon, and then goes to check on Laura. However, when he reaches her, he sees the awful state of her body and hears Lucifer's voice responding instead. Michael pushes the pod into another room, attracting the attention of a nurse. Locking the door, he opens the pod, attempting to explain that the baby isn't what Laura thinks. Lucifer responds with a powerful roar, pushing Michael away. Lucifer makes Laura stand over Michael as her water breaks, burning his body. Lucifer catches Michael and forces him onto Laura's lap, demanding worship. Upon the angel's refusal, Lucifer stabs Michael's neck with Laura's fingers. Michael persists and reveals that God is permitting all this to happen so that Lucifer can be trapped inside Jesus' rebirthed body forever. Lucifer is enraged, accidentally knocking out Michael. When Liz comes with the guards, Lucifer asks her to kill the baby as he has been trapped by God. But Liz assumes it's Laura talking again and makes the guards take her to the altar. Laura gives birth to a baby on top of the gate to hell, and Liz takes the baby from her right away. Laura is left alone on top of the well. The beast opens the lid and makes her fall before joining the others outside. Liz introduces their new savior to the Satanists in the courtyard, revealing that he will be baptized with blood instead of water. The beast proceeds to kill everyone present. Laurent is both shocked and relieved to be spared. However, his joy is short-lived as the beast kills him after he kisses the baby's head. Michael wakes up and uses a gun to break the window and escape the room. He enters the well room and rescues Laura, who is hanging on the edge. They then team up to pursue their enemy. Liz is about to leave with the baby in a car, but Laura jumps on her and hits her before reaching for the child. Liz wants to protect Lucifer, but Michael reveals that the baby is not Lucifer. It was not the devil who chose Laura, but God, and she gave birth to the eternal prison of Lucifer. Michael tells Laura to leave in the car and find Vincini, while he stays to stop Lucifer's army from escaping hell. Michael quickly closes the well, but the beast finds him and forcefully throws him aside to reopen it. Michael finds Liz's explosives and sets them off, causing an explosion that destroys the whole abbey and completely seals the gate to hell. The movie concludes with Vincini bringing Laura, the baby and the shroud to the cathedral. Meanwhile, Michael fulfills his promise to free all the stolen children. Laura and Vincini live in the asylum to protect and care for the child, who has grown up healthy and is named Michael. Liz sneaks around the forest to watch the family and calls for Lucifer. The devil tries to escape, but the child absorbs him back into his body to keep him sealed away. Thanks for watching. Like and subscribe for more videos.